more than 100 Ridgefontein pupils, that's in Limpopo, I believe, were admitted to hospital after being reportedly, after they reportedly were eating food with crushed glass in it. Well, the pupils are from the Kwena Tshwena Primary School. They were rushed to a hospital in Limpopo after complaining of pain and vomiting. Let's just try and find out what actually happened here. I'm joined by Communications Director at the Department of Basic Education, regular guest as well, Elijah Mhlanga, who joins us. Mr. Mhlanga, good afternoon to you. So sad you and I often have to talk about these terrible issues when it comes to education matters. What happened here?
Well, the reports that we are receiving from that province indicate that there could be a supplier who's supplying food that is contaminated. The reports also indicate that there could be some stones and some other foreign material in the foodstuff that is given to learners.
Well, before we discuss the suppliers and how you vet the suppliers, I think a lot of people will want to know, how are the pupils?
Well, they are doing fine because they've been taken to hospital where they've been examined, because our priority is the lives of the children, and they've been attended to, and we believe that our officials in the district are attending to the matter and they're updating us on a regular basis. So far we are satisfied with the attention that they're getting from the medical professionals.
It is a bit of a problem though, because as you'll quite well know, just a short while ago, a school also had to deal with food poisoning, which is something that you also had to speak to us about at the time. So it doesn't look particularly good off the back of that. How concerned is the department about the food you're giving pupils?
Well, we're extremely concerned. You know, it's a massive system. It feeds about 9.2 million children a day. And in that complex system, you're bound to come across issues that are not desirable. And this one is extremely concerning because learners have been admitted to hospitals to be examined for this type of things. But what we have done is to send a team to assist the Limpopo province to investigate this. And indications are that there are suppliers that are giving food to schools which is not desirable, which in fact is in breach of the prescribed norms that are expected of the quality of the food that should be supplied in the school nutrition program in our schools.
So what happens now, for example, if the supplier is found to be in contravention of this? I mean, I don't imagine that this is something the education department would take very lightly. I imagine you cut the contract straight away. You can't have pupils eating crushed glass if that is found to be the case.
Absolutely. I mean, I think in the next day or two we'll be making an announcement. Indications are that we'll be terminating contracts because we can't allow this. Learners' lives are being put at risk, and we are extremely concerned about it, and we definitely need to take action urgently.
One thing that concerns me, of course, is I imagine that the supplier is not just giving it to one school in Limpopo. You would have suppliers for regions. How do we know that other schools aren't at risk? Thankfully, nothing has happened, but how do we know? What safeguards are you putting into place to make sure this doesn't happen tomorrow and we aren't talking again tomorrow?
Well, there's a monitoring team that is always on the ground that goes there to check. Fortunately, on this one, it's confined to a particular district, and we've been investigating for a while now. That's why we are confident that we have been able to identify the source of this problem, and we'll be making contact with the relevant company or companies and then make the necessary announcement. But we cannot allow a service like this one, which puts the lives of children at risk. Those families there are anxious as we speak, but we are assuring them that we're doing all that we can to attend to this particular situation.
Is there any excuse here that this supplier can give you that you will accept, or will you get rid of them on the record? Is there any excuse that they can give you that you will buy?
Absolutely not. Here we are dealing with people's lives. And in some cases, some learners have passed away, whether it was directly linked to the school nutrition program or not. It doesn't matter. The fact is that the learners are supposed to get clean, good, quality, nutritious meals at our schools. It's an important intervention by government, this nutrition program. So we don't want anything. It's supposed to support the learners, not to put them at risk. So we are not going to accept any explanation whatsoever.
I'm glad to hear that indeed. As always, a pleasure having you with us. Thank you very much indeed. Elijah Mhlanga from the Department of Basic Education.